What's it like to deliver for Amazon? Well, it's been about a year since I worked for Amazon. I guess technically I didn't work for Amazon. I delivered for Amazon through a transport company. It's basically the same thing. I had to go through an Amazon training program and all that. We got to wear these nice vests. This one is way too big for me now, as I lost a lot of weight since then. So, what was it like to work for Amazon? In my experience, it was an okay job. I didn't enjoy it a lot. They kind of made it seem like it was a lot easier than it is. Not that it was a super hard job or anything like that, but if you think it's just driving around, hanging out, listening to music, you've got the wrong idea. So what does the typical day look like working for Amazon? You wake up early. I think I woke up at like 5, maybe 5:30. Had to be there very early because you have to load your own van. And that was one of the biggest pains. So you wake up, you drive to whatever warehouse that you're going to be delivering from. You're going to drop off your car there. You got to wear this vest in order to enter the warehouse, or an orange vest, just something, visible. Then you find these big old, carts that carry these totes in, and these totes will be pre-loaded with all of your packages, and they're big totes, and you usually add 12, 15, something like that, something between 12 and 15 of them, plus a bunch of random boxes that were bigger. If they didn't fit, or if they're too heavy to fit in one of the totes, then they would put them on the outside, and there's usually around 20 of those. So you got these big, giant carts. You got 3 of those that you got to pull over to your van. Now, when I first started working at Amazon, the vans were all parked inside, and it was nice and warm in the warehouse, and it was great. But literally 2 weeks later, they're like, okay, guys, apparently we're not allowed to park the vans inside the warehouse anymore, so you got to load outside. And this is, November or October in Utah, and it's 25 degrees outside in the morning, Fahrenheit, or colder than that. And I tell you, I did not make it to December. I didn't make it to December. It was really cold, and you're trying to get all your stuff organized, and you had to scan every box with your phone to make sure that all your packages were together. And if you're missing a package, you had to run around and try to find somebody who might know where your missing package is, so that they can take it off, give you the package, or they have to take it off of there for you so that you don't get stuck there. So yeah, you have to load up your van. That takes a while, and you better be organized when you load up your van, because if you're not, you're gonna be searching for packages all day long and not know where they are. And that happened a couple of times where I thought that I had organized things in the right way, and then I realized I did it in reverse or something, and that is a bad day. Sometimes you got to work in teams. Luckily, I had a buddy that worked there first, and so oftentimes we would request to work together, and those days were not bad at all. Those were actually, I had a lot of fun on those days, because you're just shooting the breeze with your buddy. Now, it's still hard work, and I'll get into that in a moment, but you're able to just talk and enjoy it a lot more. I never worked with somebody that I didn't know. I either worked with my friend or I worked by myself. Usually you're by yourself, though. And eventually my friend quit before I did, so I was by myself after that, on my own. So what did the day look like after that? So you leave your warehouse and then you drive to your zone. whatever that zone might be. And you're going to be in that zone all day long. You're driving from 7 a.m. and you're going to be done. The time varied. Okay, there were actually days that I got done at like 2, but those were few and far between, and those were usually when I was working with my friend. If I was by myself, the typical day, you got paid for 10 hours, so you would hope to be done by 5, but usually I would be done by 6, sometimes even 7. So Amazon didn't pay you if you went over your time. You get this amount. Now the nice thing is if you didn't make it all the way to 5 o'clock, you still get paid the set amount. But if you go over, you still get paid the set amount. So on those days, you're losing some money for being out too long. So yeah, you don't know exactly when you're going to be done. Now, there were a couple different routes that you could take. Now, Salt Lake City is a fairly big city. So if you got the downtown route, you're going to be driving in some pretty weird traffic. You're going to be pulling off to the side of the road in downtown area. And you're going to be going to a lot of large apartment complexes where you've got to carry a couple totes with you. Keep those organized as you're going. You put a couple down at a door. You need to be careful. You need to take a picture of it. Make sure that your package is all delivered nice. It's a lot of running around because the faster you are, the faster you get done. So you do a lot of walking as fast as you can, or running as well, because sometimes you're going to work in suburbs. You're not always downtown. There's a lot of times I worked in suburbs, so I was delivering house to house, and you pull up to a house, you get out, you run to the door, you run back, you get in, you drive to the next house, you find your packages, your envelopes. Some of them are, this house, this house, this house. Some of them are this house here. You drive up a couple blocks, there's a house there. Whatever it is, it just depends on the day and depends on the neighborhood. Usually, though, it didn't matter if you're working downtown or the suburbs, you're walking or jogging, really, 12 to 14 miles a day. And I would usually log like 25 to 28,000 steps on my Apple Watch. So you're moving. Okay, this is a way to get some exercise if you're looking into doing that. It's not for somebody who thinks that they're just going to be sitting down driving all day. It's not. So now I was the delivery driver for like the purple vans that you see, the Prime vans out on the road. You've probably seen them. So that's what I was driving. And so that's what I did. Now there was also this like delivery driver tracking app. I think it was called Mentor, and that thing was so annoying. So you had to log into that, and it had every single time that I had to do this, I would try and scan. They had like a little QR code that you scan on your van so it knows which van that you're driving, so you can track it. And I would try to scan it, and it wouldn't scan. And one time I was there for an hour trying to get this thing to scan, and finally they were just like, go ahead and go. But when you do get it to scan, then it's tracking your driving. You have to be touching things in order to know where your next delivery is. But if you touch your phone too much, it's going to get mad, and it's going to tell your manager that you're playing on your phone while you're driving. But really, I'm just trying to be organized and look forward to know what my next delivery is going to be, or look forward a couple of deliveries so I can try and organize packages or something. And so, and sometimes you're doing that at a stoplight or something, or if you're in a neighborhood, you might be driving just really slow and then just take a quick look at your phone. You weren't allowed to back up in those vans, and I tell you what, sometimes you just have to back up. If you back up, you got a bad mark on your driving for that day. And it's there were some situations where I didn't know the road and I got stuck. And it's I have to back up here, so I'm going to get a bad mark for backing up, which I understand. It's a big van that's not easy to maneuver while backing up, but I don't know, man. It was ridiculous. Anyways, I did have some fun doing Amazon though. I was able to just put in some podcasts and just listen to things that I wanted to listen to. And I didn't have someone sitting there telling me what to do all day. It's just I hop in my car, I drive off, I do my route, and I'm done. So it wasn't a super hard job in that sense, by any means. But yeah, I mean that's what the day looked like. You're up and you were running, and there were lots of things that could go wrong. And maybe I'll tell some of the stories of things that went wrong. But I just kind of want to give an overview of what it's like to be a delivery driver for Amazon. So that's my experience. Hey, if you've delivered for Amazon and you have a better experience than me, let me know in the comments. See you guys next time.